So last night I recorded a vlog around 8:30 p.m. It just occurred to me that since I'm always uploading these a little later, based on when I have enough internet to try to do it, either good Wi-Fi or in this instance, finally making it home, I realized that it's going to look like it was done on the morning of April 1st, and I just wanted to clarify that that recording was at about 8:30 p.m. on Wednesday, the last day of March 2021, and uploaded the following morning. Today, it is April 1st. It's uploading as I record this. So I just woke up a little bit ago and I'm tired. I feel kind of tired. I've got that temptation to just kind of curl up in my blankets because I'm in my bed and it's god awful messy as my apartment is. This is my safe space. This is where I'm simultaneously the most uncomfortable, but yet the most comfortable that I can just curl up and stay asleep. I don't know if that's the best way to explain it, but I mean, I guess that's what I'm doing, is staying asleep. I mean, I'm awake now, but if I wasn't recording this, I would probably just put my phone back on the dresser and let the other one finish up, let the other vlog just finish uploading and probably fall asleep, and who knows how long I would sleep for, but I have made plans for this morning. Getting a couple things taken care of on my Saturn. I got a feeling I'm going to become, it looks like I'm going to lose this apartment in a month, so not sure if I'll be living out of my Saturn, but I'm certainly going to be, well, I mean, even in the last several days, I'm in it a lot more, and some minor issues with it. I mean, the car's it's a good running car, in spite of its age and the fact that some people just find it, laughably old. But I could rant at length about why I think Saturn was a great concept in a car, and I always laughingly and proudly call it my little plastic car. And technically, it's my second Saturn, and I really missed the first one. Go on at length about that as well too. But I don't know. Was it my car? Was it Daniela's car? I mean, we were married, so I guess that's where I struggle in relationships. I wasn't even going to get on the topic of relationships, but here I am, mind wandering. I guess as a married man, never really got the concept of mine or of ours, either mine or not mine. And of course, that's how divorce. That's why divorce is such a clusterfuck. One of the many reasons why divorce would be such a clusterfuck. And I know one thing I definitely failed at in my marriage. One of many things I failed at in my marriage was that I kind of jumped on the whole concept of, well, I'm the man. All this is mine, including you. And I get that's not a good relationship dynamic, but I don't know, it's one I struggle to. It's the only thing that really makes sense to me, I guess. God, I'm rambling incoherently. This seems to be the only common theme of all these vlogs, which is, I mean, that's kind of, if anything, what these are is, if if I seem like a confused person sometimes when you talk to me, this is kind of how the thoughts are inside my head at all times. So it seems like I'm struggling to make sense. Sometimes it's because I am, I guess. Um, and I say I guess too much, but it, that's an honest. That's coming. I'm coming by that honestly. Um, so often I feel like I'm guessing as to what's the right thing to do, or how a normal person is supposed to communicate or react to something. And I'm watching people around me, just trying to get cues of, well, what, how are they interacting with other people? Because I'm supposed to be doing that, and as much as it doesn't make sense to me, and kind of, I know those are textbook symptoms of autism, and I've never been diagnosed with that. I'm not trying to jump on that bandwagon. I don't feel like that's me. Sometimes, you know, seeing things written by people who are autistic, at least claim to be autistic on the internet, I'm just like, yeah, that's kind of me. And I do have some genuinely autistic people in my life, and in some ways I relate to them, and in some ways I just absolutely don't. So, but it's a spectrum, so there's that. Uh, anyway. So it's, oh gosh, I don't know what time it is, because on this screen on my phone I don't see the clock, and I don't have another clock visible in my bedroom right now. Anyway, it's fairly early in the morning, but as you can see behind me, the sun is already up. And the Saturn, I was talking about what I got to get fixed in the Saturn. So, yeah, good running car, but the air conditioner is not blowing cold, and yeah, it's getting pretty warm in Phoenix already, and I expect it's going to be a really hot summer. And if I lose this apartment, I'm going to be out in a car lot, and even not being out in that car lot, like just 10-minute drive in the sun at 95 is very uncomfortable in the car, and yeah, not ready to even think about it being 110 outside. I'm not now. As long as I still have the means to take care of Rob, and take care of that. The other thing, and this is a big deal to me, although I told Priscilla, who, I don't know, is or isn't my girlfriend at this point, I don't know. I've definitely gone out of my way to sabotage that, and I can own that. The cigarette lighter jacks have not been working since I was last in San Diego, which was about a year and a half ago, a little over a year and a half ago. And I notice I'm mentioning San Diego a lot in these vlogs, and maybe a lot of people who know me aren't even that familiar that I was spending some time in San Diego. But during August of 2019, I spent a rather large amount of time, at least in my mind, a large amount of time in San Diego. So much that I felt like that was home, and Phoenix wasn't. Going back and forth a lot, trying to, definitely do I had karaoke gigs here, but Lime had dried up here, because who wants to ride a scooter when it's 110 degrees out, and 115 degrees out, and it's just so stiflingly hot. I mean, I grew up in Phoenix, but I just don't recall it being that hot before, and that was summer of 2019, and God knows summer of 2020 was worse. Anyway, but I noticed every time I went to San Diego, it was just, on the Lime app, it was just money everywhere. I was never waiting for something to happen. I mean, there was something to do 24/7, and it was even though I was pretty much alone at all times, other than random interactions with strangers, which when I'm in a good headspace, I seem to do well, oddly enough. As much as so many people say, oh, it's hard to talk to strangers, I can talk to strangers well. talking with the people that are close to me and in my life that I struggle. But anyway, so when I make reference to that, that San Diego in my head is a big thing. Even though I get a feeling a lot of people in Arizona never noticed I was gone. But because I was back, every day I was supposed to have a karaoke show. I was back doing it, pretty much. So anyway, I think about San Diego a lot. I don't think I would have survived in San Diego through 2020. Because the line was shut down in San Diego the exact same day it was shut down in Phoenix. But that's a whole other story entirely. Anyway, so I've made plans to hook up with Rob as soon as he gets the shop open to, at the very least, take care of the electrical outlets in the Saturn, which, if I'm going to be in my car a lot more, I need those to keep my phone charged, because that's pretty much my connection to the world and my internet. And also to, use any other things in the car, whatever those things might be. I do have a couple power inverters, and, so there's a lot better videos than a lot of videos on the subject of van life and stealth living in a car, and I've watched quite a few of them, and to be honest, I can't think of the names of any of those YouTubers off the top of my head. I'd like to give those YouTubers credit for, having an influence on me, but because they have, but I couldn't name any. I know one is a gal who's got the name, the snack something. Travel snacks, I think. Anyway, having those jacks working for the power inverter certainly will make functionally living in the car easier. And the most important thing to me is being able to keep my phone charged. I find I frequently waste time in the day just going to places where I can plug my phone in and get juice on it. And yeah, so I need to take care of that. And hopefully the air conditioning. There's a couple other minor things. I usually hit Rob with whatever I can think of needs to be messed with, and he does what he can, and then I try to survive without the car for as long as he has it, which is sometimes he's really efficient, and I get it. Rob's a busy guy, and he's always there for me when I need him, even if I have absolutely no money in my pocket. Like he knows I'm going to take care of him, and I don't believe I've ever let him down on that. I try not to let people down like that, but I know some of the people closest to me, I let them down constantly, and for that, I really am sorry. I don't know what else to say. And the person closest to me told me that, my sorries are very insincere, and I don't believe they are, but I can see where they are from her point of view. Which, what did that have to do with my car, right? So, anyway, I'm rambling. I also need to touch base with my landlord. Pay what may be my last month of, well, it's definitely probably my last month of assisted rent, wherein I'm just paying a copay. He didn't really sound positive on me staying in this apartment after the end of this month, the end of April. But instead of looking at it as something that's insurmountable, I should at least, have a conversation with him about what he needs from me to make that happen. I really do believe I could pay. I think the rent on this apartment is like, I've never paid the full rent here because I've always had some help with that. I don't want to even name the actual program, but it's essentially Section 8 for people who have struggled with homelessness and have mental health issues, which is me in a nutshell. I mean, the general difference I think between me and most of the people that are other people that use that program is that when I am high functioning, I do, you know, I'm capable of making money, doing great things. It's just sometimes it's more of a struggle than others. So thank you to anybody who's ever kept me as an employee or contractor for any length of time. I understand sometimes it seems super awkward and super like, why is this guy here? He's nuts. I like to believe that when I'm committed to something, I do good work with it. Particularly karaoke, but even my little stint at Phoenix Flowers, it didn't end well, but I had very good intentions. Realized Valentine's Day rolled by and I didn't even talk to Phoenix Flowers. So it's like, oh, you work for Phoenix Flowers? Yeah, kind of I did. But hey, there's another subject for a vlog another time. So I've wasted 16 minutes doing that, and I don't even know who's even listening to this. But probably at this point, family members that are like, why don't you tell me these things? Why won't you talk to me? Like, well, listen to this. It's just incoherent ramblings. And talking to me incoherent ramblings enough. But yeah, I need to touch base with my landlord and make my bill pay. And I do believe so. I think the rent on this apartment, if I was paying the whole thing, is about $950. You think I would know that number right off the top of my head? But to be honest, like I see it once a year when I sign my lease. I kind of, for whatever reason, was thinking I had already done that, but apparently I haven't. For May 2021 through May 2022, I thought I had done that, and I hadn't. The way I understand, the way I'm reading that contract, it's not between me and, like, the rental assistance company is not a rental assistance agency. So it's a local program that's overseen by HUD. They're not a party to that contract. That contract has always been with me and my landlord. And anyway, I'm pretty sure I don't have one on that. So anyway, I think my rent is $950 a month. I do believe I can make that happen. Either double down on doing karaoke or double down on my eBay store, or I could probably just hang out my storage and list things on OfferUp and make $900 happen. I'm pretty confident I can do it, and plus I do believe I have friends. Not that I want to go looking for handouts for friends, but I believe I have friends who own businesses that would give me work, whatever it is, if I asked. I'm not trying to put any of my friends in that position, but I do think it's there. In fact, I had kind of a random stranger on Tuesday night offer me a job at Wingstop, which, the thought of doing a fast food job at the age of 50 is. He asked me, so what's the problem? Is it the stigma? And I'm like, well, yeah, there's a stigma there. It takes me back to being 19, 20, 21, where my goal was to be a radio professional, and I was a radio professional, and I had radio jobs, but I couldn't seem to make those stable enough or high paying enough to carry me, so I was regularly supplementing that with food service jobs, which is a normal job to have at that age, but I don't know, it definitely feels like a loser move as a 50-year-old Menson. But he did seem serious about the job offer, and I do believe I would make enough to working at Wingstop. And he seemed like that could get me moved into management, and I've done food management. I feel like when I was the manager of Subway number 5809 in Glendale, I felt like I did that very well. Did it very, very well. I also managed a, what do you call it, a Little Caesars franchise location. I felt like I did that very well. And I've been in like shift manager positions at other fast food places, and I feel like I do that well. And I know that can actually be a fairly lucrative career, but man, the thought of working for somebody else is not appealing to me. And also, then I'm back on kind of other people's terms and other people's. With my mental health issue, it's it's hard to explain stuff like that, and you try to explain that to supervisors in a food service type job, and they're just like, yeah, all they see is somebody who's not doing the job, or somebody who's not reliable. And anyway, but it was thrown out there, and I think he's honest. He'd probably hire me in a heartbeat. I did tell him I would try to go back and talk to him, even for no other reason than to talk to him. He seemed like a really nice guy. I think his name was Bruce, but I might be remembering that wrong. I'm horribly bad at remembering names. Anyway, it's been 20 minutes. I need to stop this and get up and try to have a productive day, as opposed to just curling back up in the comfort of my bed and trying to figure out where my week went. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for caring. Subscribe for more. Do I sound like a YouTuber yet? Anyways, just FYI, this is the morning of April 1st, 2021, and it may be